Very good afternoon, very good morning, and a good evening to all that might be on frequency today. We wish to welcome you to the DATV Worldwide Net, today hosted by ZS1MM. Yeah, I just made it in time to get ready. Been running around a lot. We also wish to thank the Qatar Satellite Company for allowing us space on their wonderful transponder. We also wish to thank the BATC group and also the AMSAT DL group, people that have done a lot for amateur radio and especially in DATV. And with that, we've been able to have fantastic high quality communications via television, via most of Africa, most of Europe, parts of South America. And there are guys in those regions on today, in fact. So today we have the following. We have ITZHZM Francesco. He's at the group in Italy. They've had quite an extensive playback over the last 2 days, and it's been very good to drop in from time to time and see what Francesco and his team are up to. And we'd like to know more, Francesco, about your transmitter. It's holding out very well, and you also showed comparisons just now of helical antennas. I wonder if you guys tested them, and if you have any information for us, be interesting. And then after Francesco, if you can pass it to Leon, ZS1 Mike, and Leon will be talking about a strange discovery after he did a close-up with his lovely camera. He's got a professional camera there, and he did a close-up on the plant and discovered some interesting things which he will share with us today. Hello to Bert, Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta. Once again, an excellent and looking forward to your contribution today. It's the amp power supply protection. That's going to be good. And hello to Frank, ZS6 Golf Echo. Nice to see you on again. Haven't seen you for a while. I hope you are well. And then Mike, hello to you, a Golf Zero Mike Juliet Whiskey. And then Ed to take it, Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. He's in South America and Brazil. And then back to Holland, Benno, Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray. And this is going to be interesting as well, DATV-EASY. I hope we can get something that's easy. That will be fantastic, Benno. And then to Henry, ZS6 Mike Charlie, who's got nice audio. So with that, shall pass it to Italy Tango 9 Hotel Zulu Mike to take it from Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India and the Worldwide Net.
Okay. Hello everybody from Italy. Adesso bisogna togliere qui il... Hello everybody. Okay. My name is Francesco. T9HZM, Italy Tango 9 Hotel Zulu Mike. Next to me is Antonio.
Italy Kilo 2 Oscar Whiskey Uniform, Antonio.
And Filippo.
Italy Zulu 5 Tango Eco Papa.
And then Luca.
Italy Zulu 3 Juliet Yankee Juliet.
And then
Italo.
Italy Kilo 2 Canada Italia Radio. Hi guys, good afternoon.
Okay, we are finished. We have 2 days long to the show of Fiera Millenaria in Gonzaga, North Italy. Thanks to Italo. He wants to make this show because he's close here, lives close to this show, and then we give him a big support to set up the equipment to going through the wonderful satellite from thanks for Qatar company and the AMSAT DL company. for using this wonderful satellite. We have a lot of people come here to our stand to understand how to use this wonderful satellite. Lots of people want to beginning, just to receiving, or then to fixing, to transmitting. So lots of people come here. You are on the left. We have on the right. Sorry, we have a lot and guest books. A lot of people come here. So we during this show we find some we're testing some Helix feed. Please take one of this. We take all this. We testing this feed. We show you before, but not so long. We made the experience is better than 5 tunes than the 3.5 tunes. So this is better. But the best is that the other. We get half dB. No. Quello dietro. Okay. This is the best made from Italo, India Kilo 2, Charlie India Radio. This is the best because they have half a dB more than the other. So this is the result. But the other Helix is so good. So another testing for this, we made this the amplifier is it's made from Antonio. It's like Antonio is going using this LD MOS from it's about 100 watts. And now we are using one of these as a PR. Not this, but one of these is similar. So we are also making some driver, testing some driver by Luca. And then this is a show. We are very tired. So we finish. We thank you for everybody. We say hello to all. There is next. We say hello. Salutiamo Edoardo. Edoardo, ciao Edoardo. Salutate Edoardo che ci capisce. Ciao. Tutti. We say hello to everybody. Lo diciamo in italiano, ciao Edoardo, grazie. Bene, ok, that's all. Oh no, cosa è successo? È sganciato? Oh no, ok. Ok, that's all. Thank you for... Togli l'audio. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for receiving us, and then for joining today. Say hello also to Gary. Thank you for making put us in the first, and say hello also Saro if you are receiving. I don't know, but I want to say Leon Zulu Sierra 1 Mike Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta Zulu Sierra 6 Golf Echo Golf 0 Mike Juliet Whiskey, Papa Yankee 2 Radio November, Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-Ray, and the last is Zulu Sierra 6 Mike Charlie. Say hello to you from the Fiera Millenaria from Gonzaga. Hello to everybody. Bye bye. See you next time. Go to Leon Zulu Sierra 1, my mic. Go ahead, Leon. Bye-bye.
Okay, Francesco, very good afternoon and good morning to those on the west and good evening to those in the east. A fantastic show you have there, Francesco. Oh, lovely. I've been watching it the whole weekend and wish it wasn't so far. We have ham fests here, that's what we call it here, a ham fest, a big thing like that that you have there, and it is fantastic. But you are so far. Lots of nice equipment that we've seen, and very interesting on the helixes. Yes, I've also done some experiments with the helixes. They're very good for the offset dishes, but for the prime focus they are too narrow, and you only illuminate the center, so it's not good for the prime focus. But for offset dish, excellent, and you can get the matching perfecto. Okay, I have just a very short little video that I want to show you. That Gary said, I must just select the right thing. On one of my plants, I noticed this very, very interesting tiny, very tiny spiders. Now the whole frame that you see there is about 1 centimeter. So look at those very, very, very small spiders. What they do in a plant, I don't know. I've never seen such small spiders, because they've got 8 legs, which means they're arachnids. They are proper spiders. They are not aphids or any other sort of bug, as far as I know. I'm not a biologist, but yes, very, very, very teeny weeny little spiders. I couldn't believe it. But I've just received something more interesting. From a friend of mine in Cape Town. He's an amateur observer. He's got telescopes and things. So we dropped the spiders now. And let's just go back to camera 1. That is one of the sunspots of today. He's just taken that from his home. One of today's sunspots, freshly taken from Cape Town. So there must be some HF activity opening soon, I guess. Okay, that is it from me. ZS1 mic, sorry, wrong camera. Oh, enough spiders. So I give it to Bert. Papa Alpha 3, Alpha Oscar Delta for the group from ZS1 mic.
Yes, I believe there is some video. Yes. And also some audio. Okay, good afternoon, morning, evening, everybody here. Francesco, there in Italy. I don't know exactly where it is, somewhere in the northern, I presume somewhere in Milano or something like that. But okay, I saw indeed some nice equipment and some homemade equipment there. Yeah, about the spiders, Leon. Even the small ones can be poisoned. When I was in Australia, you get the redback spider. It's a rather small spider, but very dangerous. So, yeah, you never know. These little ones. You think you are big, but the spiders can have nice little teeth and do bite you maybe. You never know. Especially in South Africa, you got more strange and dangerous animals. That's probably not one of the big 5 over there. That's probably one of the big the big smalls, or the small bigs, or what you could call it. All about activity on HF. Yeah, there is a lot of activity. There is an WPX SSB contest. And indeed, the signals, I don't know if this to do with the sunspot, but there is a lot of activity. And we see, a lot of contacts with Japan, also in SSB, and that's not always possible. So on 50 meter, I've made a couple of contacts with Japan, and that was, like what was stationed in Europe. So the signals are not bad at all. I only looked at the 50 meters, so other frequency, I don't know. I've done a lot of work, but that was the paid work for my boss, and not that many time for my hobby. But I can show you maybe something. I will switch over to another camera, like Mike says, a bench camera. I also know a kind of bench camera. and hopefully that will see something now from the other camera. There's maybe a lot of sun on it, because on my back there's a lot of sun, and behind glass, in the sun, the temperature is rising. Too much for me anyway, but doesn't matter. Got 4 circuits with the protection with the well-known BST 2855, or what is it called? I can't even see it. BS50085A. Yeah, that's the one. That's one circuit for 23 centimeters, 70 centimeters, 2 meters, and 4 HF. So it can handle to approximately 30 ampere by 50 volts. So for all my 4 amplifiers, that's a nice protection circuit. All is done by controlled by a microcontroller, and that's the Raspberry Pi Pico. That's the small one over here. That's the little thing. Just did some testing with all the electronics, and this part is working. Busy with the software, and that will continue for the coming weeks anyway. Also busy with my amplifier, of course. That's also ongoing. Let's see if I can put the camera to the other position. Let's see if I can see this one. No. Oh, back to the other camera. It's not always listening, the system. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, you see, I'm busy with the 2-meter amplifier. A lot of loose wires, but that has to be connected then. But let's see without shaking if I can show you something. Yeah, that's indeed shaking, but yeah. That's anyway the amplifier, and yeah, still busy with it. And let's see. Okay, back in the picture. Okay, that's from me from this time. System goes into yeah, Frank. ZS6 Golf Echo. Das ist Kamera für dich, Frank, von Papa Alpha 3, Alpha Oscar Delta. Where's my...
Yeah. Good day, everybody. Long time no see, but there was always something on a Sunday afternoon lately. But not today. Today is a break. So greetings to Italy. And Leon, I think you should ask the expert, the Spider-Man. I'm sure he can answer your questions. Anyway. Yeah, not much to say. I am still struggling with in my hobby room. I have that light strip made up. It's 2 strips of 24 volt, and I want to dim them from 0 to full brightness in about 5 minutes. With other words, very, very slow. And that is where the problem comes in. The ordinary light dimmer sort of you can get, they use microcontrollers, 8 bits or so. And that unfortunately doesn't work too well. This is a response I need. When it's very or nearly off, it's pulse width modulated. That's about the only way that will work. Even the smallest step makes a perceivable step in the brightness to the human eye. And at that low level, the human eye is also very sensitive on top of it. That means if you drive directly from the output of a microprocessor, it's by necessity a digital signal. Down here you can actually see the brightness stepping up instead of being smooth. So that is a problem. So at the moment I use an analog solution. I made a ramp generator with op amps. I have an up-down switch because it must the brightness must go up and it also must go down. And in order to convert the sawtooth into something that resembles the first curve here, at a certain level I detect and feed it back and speed up the ramp generator here. Now it looks very much like a discharge curve, but it works one way but not the other way. So 0 to 1 volt goes to the pulse width modulation to a driver and to the LED. Problem is, for some reason or another, I don't know if it's temperature or something, sometimes it doesn't ramp down all the way, and then you can see still some light. If I turn it down, then it takes too long to come on. So it is a problem. So now I'm busy with this sort of thing. I have a clock generator. I feed them to up-down counters to 12 bits because 8 bits is not enough. With 8 bits you can still see the steps in the brightness. At certain levels I feed it back again to the clock and speed it up again to effectively get a non-linear curve. I feed it again into the modulator and out. So that's what I'm busy with at the moment. I haven't tested it yet, but that should at least eliminate the analog circuitry with big electrolytics and all that sort of thing, because we're talking about 5 to 10 minutes I want. I had a friend that tried the microcontroller bit and he struggled. Just couldn't get it right. So anyway, that is what I'm doing here. If anybody has a suggestion, idea, a supplier, a circuit, whatever, I would very much appreciate it. And coming back to antennas, I still struggle to get a decent 10 gigahertz signal out of my antenna dish. It is way down of what it should be. It's a 2,7 meter dish which I feed directly into the poti without a plastic lens. And I tried various things to and fro, and it should be better by at least 3 dB. Again, it's a prime focus dish, so if anybody has a suggestion how to adapt the waveguide to that sort of dish, I would appreciate it. Okay, Mike, you're next. G0, Mike Juliet Whiskey, ZS6 Golf Echo.
Right, caught me by surprise there, Frank. Good afternoon, everybody. Just seeing who's next as well. It's Ed. Okay, PY2RN. I'll remember that. A few changes around here. I was a little bit late on parade because I've been trying to do some CNC work, and I was just trying to see if there was a way I could actually show you the CNC. Maybe I'll go to shaky cam in a minute. But I've rearranged the cameras in here because I got a new camera over the week, which was a surplus Polycom webcam, and they're quite cheap. But by cheap I mean it was £18 with delivered. So this is the view from it, looking down on the bench at what I've been working on with the amplifiers, and incidentally I did some tests on those amplifiers and came to the conclusion they're good for 100 watts of DVB-T on 70 centimeters, which is not to be sniffed at. That's quite good, actually. So here is the setup, which you can see, and if you look carefully above the yeah, I can get in the way of this camera, can't I? I don't know if it helps. Oops, no, not really. Too difficult to point it out, but there's a camera up there on the top, which is sitting on the arbitrary waveform generator, which sounds like what Frank needs, actually. And it's just looking down there, and it's replacing the other one, so I can point things on the bench and make video content with them. If I go to the other camera, you can see what it looks like. It looks like that, and it's almost in focus, but it's pretty small, but a nice device. Anyway, I'll not subject you to the shaky cam just at the moment. I'll go back to myself and make a few more comments. So, firstly, good to see the Italian group in where is it? Fiera Millenaria. That looked really nice. We haven't had any hamfests locally, at least not yet. But I noticed there's another transmission just below us. It's quite weak, but it looks like a Belgian hamfest, and I can, by the magic of OBS, I can sort of show you the pictures they're showing at the moment. So that's all looking good, and they're doing that in 125 kilosymbols with quite weak signals, but it's very effective anyway. I guess they're doing that long term, so that's why they're at such a low power level, but all good. I hadn't realised this was on, so I haven't been looking at it, so sorry about that. Leon, I haven't got anything to say about your baby spiders really, apart from they're very, very small. And I doubt they're poisonous, but I believe of the 12 most venomous spiders in the world, they're all native to Australia. So Australia and spiders is probably not the best place to be. I think they've got most of the venomous snakes as well. So there you go. Bert, the PA looks really good. I see you're building that. That's what I'm doing as well. And hence the CNC, which I might try and show you later. I'm trying to make a panel, and apart from a slight problem with deflection owing to too high 0.1 millimeters per second feed rate on the depth plunge, it seems to be going okay. So I've got a few things there which I'm working on. And right, the other thing is you need a Polycom camera, because your shaky camera was even shakier than Colin's shaky camera and Martin's unsteady cam. So yeah, let's get something stable or something above the bench so you can take a nice picture and we can have a good admiring look at all of the good work there. Frank, you asked about the dimmer and you asked about the potty actually. At least I think you were asking about the potty. If you've got a dish of 0.35 f to d or 0.4 f to d, then don't put a lens on it at all. Just put it at the focus, but the focus is incredibly critical. You've got to get it right. You've got to get it in and out to within a few millimeters for it to work. Then it should work okay. You can put in a smaller lens, but if it's 0.3 prime focus, you don't need it. If it's a longer prime focus, then you're going to need a lens, but it might have to be matched to the dish. I assume you were talking about receive and not transmit, because your transmit signal is excellent, as is your picture, incidentally. Now, onto the dimming of the lights. I would suggest you do it digitally with a microcontroller, but you don't seem to want to do that, so I think you're going the right way. But the problem might be in the LED response. They're very, very sensitive to very small amounts of current, and that means you're going to need lots of bits, which you probably haven't got. But another way to do that would be to use something like a NeoPixel or some addressable LED and just have a lot of them and turn them on. So you get strips of those, and you can turn them on individually and dim the light level individually. So instead of trying to make the whole array go up and down, you effectively turn on one and make it a little bit brighter, and then maybe turn on another one and make it a bit brighter, and bring them all up together. And you can do all of that via a 3-wire interface from a microcontroller. And you can work out how to get it right. But if you're doing what I think you're doing, which would be for example, dawn to dusk on the railway model. The other way to do it would be just to stop down the lens very slowly, wouldn't it? Okay, with that, I've got to pass it around to Ed. So PY2RN, over to you, G0MJW.
Don't know what's good for them. Like not being able to leave a good stick alone.
Hello!
Thank you, Mike. Hi all, greetings. 73 to all. This is Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. Special salute to the people and the Fiera Millenaria in Gonzaga, Italy. Nice to see you all, guys, and the Fiera activity. Buongiorno a tutta la gente in la Fiera. Grazie Filippo, Antonio, Francesco, Luca, Italo. 73, un abbraccio. Okay, guys, today's kind of dog day here. I just bring my two dogs. Yeah, they are kind of outdoor dogs. They don't appreciate much to be, inside. But anyways, I really don't have much to present, so I just decided to bring them here. So let me call Maggie, because Maggie is the smartest one. Hey, Maggie. So she's Maggie. Come here, baby. No, here. Let's show. Maggie. Here. Would you bring me the ball, Maggie? Maggie, what is the ball? Maggie, the ball, please. Ball. What is the ball? Pega a bola. Ei, pega a bola. Oh, quer? Pega a bola. A bola. Pega a bola. No, the ball is not there. Maggie, ball. Bring me the ball. Bring me the ball. Okay, that one is fine. Okay, give me the ball. Yeah, so here it is. The ball for me, not to Zuko. Zuko is the smaller one. That's the smaller one. Yeah. So you want an apple too? You want an apple too? Okay, I'm gonna give you some apple. All right. Sit. Senta. You too. Sit. Yeah. Okay, so I have just one piece now. Sit. Senta. Oh. Yeah, those are the guys. That one is this guy here. It's I think 3 months. He's 3 months old, and he bites everything, and very active. Maggie is a Labrador. She's 13 years old, but still very active and lots of energy. All right. So those are my guys here. They wanna go downstairs, so I'm gonna finish here and let them get back to the yard. So let's see who's the next after me. Benno, Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-Ray. So camera goes to you, Benno.
Okay, well, greetings to the fair in Italy, and greetings to the other watchers on the net to the north, the east, and the west. Gary, special thanks for leading this rumble, and if I see those kind of spiders, I would put some pie before they eat my plants. This is how I've been brought up as a kind of farmer, where these kind of animals normally needs to be distinguished by poison or whatever, because I don't think that's what you want on a plant. Anyway. For the rest, lovely to see each other all. I wasn't available over the last few weeks due to work. Did a lot of different things, also a little bit on the hobby. First of all, I can show you this, which I just got in last Friday from our Polish friends, which I haven't heard much about yet. Complete systems capable doing 400 watts CW each, so it's very much like the 450, but then two on one board. That will be interesting playing, and I was just testing because I haven't seen much people already playing with it, so I need to do my own investigation. But hey, this is the fun it will take, and whenever I find something interesting, I will somewhere on the web or whatever. But again, I just got it in last Friday. I haven't played, just looked at it and put it on under a camera. What I wanted to talk about is this DATV-EASY, which is from the same designer as the free stream coder. It also looks obviously quite similar, and it original is created for the Lime. As we know, the Lime is, well, you can only work, I believe, via the ports down to the Lime, to use the Lime for DATV. And this is basically the step along using a normal system, PC system based. Having rates and but it doesn't matter what you're turning on. If you're using Pluto, it needs to be on 1, and it works only with one Pluto yet. And the IP is not reacting anything. That's one of the bugs at the moment. The main issue here is also it will not work with FPO. and that's a big issue maybe. But it works only with original analog devices firmware, which means we have to modify our Plutos back to the original firmware at the moment. I'm not sure where Dominic will head in the future, but at the moment it's only looking for an original Pluto. I tried to work it on several F5 OEO Plutos, but I couldn't. I only managed to get it work on a original one. That means also you don't have the F5 OEO or F5 UII PTT working. And for that there was a thinking about the relay USB HID, which we know from the SDR console from Simon, because he had a similar problem, and obviously the Lime has a similar problem. So that's a good idea, and I took that idea a step higher and talked to our friend Tom about this, because we know he had a kind of interesting breakout board on a Raspberry, and I said, well, what an ideal world that would be to combine this idea of Tom to this of Dominic's and make a DATV perfect out of that, controlling not only temperature, voltage and PTT, but most issues what we ever could like to control remotely on a amplifier which is close to the dish. Obviously we need to sort out that the IP will work for the Pluto being close to the dish, and then you can use that. Besides that issue, it works pretty nice. Even this part works, so we can change the video PIDs, and so you can choose for a terrestrial, but it will do only up to 1000. It will not go over 1000 yet. It will work. All others work fine. H265 or H264 or whatever you want. And also DATV DVB-T works. On this side it works pretty nice. You see I chosen a 70 centimeter frequency. You open a window, and let's see. Can't I change? Yeah. You opened a window and you just choose if you want to work on this frequency, or if you want to work on the QO-100. You choose a list and you choose the frequency there and take valid. So for now I connected it to a 70 centimeters. So I put it back on 70 centimeters, and then I start the transmission, and obviously it's connected to another Pluto. Green will tell me it found a Pluto, and then after some seconds you get a second green, and you get the transport stream running. And at the moment I'm transmitting on 70 centimeters. So this is DATV-EASY. Small issues, but they hopefully will be corrected, and I think Dominic is doing great stuff in making our software, our world a little bit more easier. I don't need any browser anymore. We know with browsers they work perfectly up to the minute you have cookies, and suddenly the browser tells you something completely different than what's actually in the Pluto, and we keep on pressing the accept or or changes, accept changes, what is it, applied settings in order to get it working on the right frequency, on the right settings, because due to the cookies, browsers tend to fuck the system up all over the place. Okay, well, that's about it from my place. We have lovely weather, as Bert already told you, already for weeks. We have a tremendous month so far. We have a lot of sunshine, and at the moment virtually no wind, which makes it all perfect together, and we have temperatures well above springtime, and so spring is completely in the air here in the Netherlands. Okay, well, that's all for now. Microphone on to Henry. I've seen him quite a few times, but never talked to him yet. Henry, the frequency is all yours, and I have to figure out to switch off this signal. Yes. Greetings to you guys from Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray.
Yeah, Benno, very nice to see you and meet you. It's a pleasure to speak to you. And I just need to switch that off so that we don't get any feedback. So tremendous stuff. Benno, if I may comment on yours firstly, that DATV-EASY looks very interesting to me. Just as I'm getting just as I'm getting into one piece of software, there's another one that pops its head up. So yes, I think that's what makes DATV so exciting, is the fact that there's always something new happening all the time. But in any case, from my side, it's good to see everybody today. Francesco, Leon, Bert, Frank, Mike, Ed, and of course yourself, Benno, and of course I must not forget Gary. Nice to see you on today, Gary, and to see you as Master of Ceremonies over here. From my side, been trying to get my audio sorted out. So as you can see, I've actually got a little lapel microphone now, which helps, because now I no longer speak directly into the microphone of the computer. So the audio is direct now via the little lavalier lapel mic, which seems to be working. I think I still have a little bit of work to do. My voice is still a bit too bassy, so I need to get it to get a equalizer in there to make it a little bit more treble. Maybe see how I can remove any bass boost that I may have in the microphone circuit. Yeah, the other thing that I've been playing with is the clock. You can see in the top left-hand corner is a clock, and I've been trying to use or trying to download the clock, which is actually the one recommended for OBS Studio in GitHub, but I really battled. I couldn't get it right. I don't know if it's because I don't understand Linux too well, but I decided to use one from a company called eCard, and it seems to be working. It's in the top left-hand corner. That's my standard time, which is taken directly, I think, from my PC's clock. So that's how it works. Anyway, just to do some comments, Francesco, nice to hear you on. I've been hearing you on for quite a while now. You've been sitting on this particular channel, testing and doing all the nice things that we do on DATV, and congratulations on getting your signal through so well today, and nice to see your colleagues as well with you, Francesco, there in I think it's Fiera Malinaria Gonzaga. I think that's how you say it, but of course my Italian is not good at all. Leon, once again, thanks a lot for the spiders, the arachnids. I saw it during the week, and I just found it absolutely fascinating. I automatically thought that anything that goes onto a plant is an aphid, but in this case, you saw this. I saw the spiders and the spider web around the stem of the plant. So really, that's at the tomato plant, the stem of the tomato plant. So interesting once again, Leon. Bert, still fiddling there with the amps. You're going to get it right, the switching, and then you're going to give us all that circuit so that we can build it and tell us where you got all the components and the PC board's done, so that we simply can just follow suit, and you've done all the hard work. So well done there, Bert. Very nice indeed. Frank, we spoke earlier this morning. Very nice to have spoken to you. It's my appreciated the time you set aside. Very nice indeed. I unfortunately cannot assist with your problem that you've got, but I'm a group that will be able to assist you. And all right, Mike, amplifiers. You found another amplifier, Mike. I think if I watch you and I see correctly what you're doing is slowly but surely, this is where the future is going to be. If you don't have an amplifier, nothing's gonna be working. So from that point of view, the amplifiers, and I'm looking forward to the next thing when you come back on with your milling machine. What's it called? It's gone out of, slipped my mind. I know exactly what it is, but anyway, it's something that a CNC machine, or yes, I think that's what it's called. That is something that sooner or later we all will invest in. That's for sure. And Ed, the dogs, the Hunde, that is quite something. You've got them well trained, Ed. Very nice indeed, and nice to see them in your shack. They're obviously very, very well disciplined. And yes, so and I want to thank you all very, very much for showing doing. I find it extremely interesting and very exciting. What you do, you actually to put up a pole so that I can put my dish, my 1.8 meter dish, on the pole, and to accurately adjust it towards the satellite. So that's it. Gary, back to you, my friend. And thanks a lot once again, Gary. And I have emailed you and told you where you can find that clock. But if you want to, I can always have a chat with you. It's not a problem whatsoever. So over to you, Gary. ZS6YI and the group, the ZS.
Okay, ZS6, Mike Charlie, ZS6YI returning. Right, it's been a very interesting round so far. Leon, it's quite ironic, from the micro to the macro, using Raoul's sunspot photo. Yeah, that was quite good, and it came through quite well from the cell phone. Francesco, to you and the whole team, very, very good. Interesting on the antennas, something to take note of. It'll be nice to see if you compare them with a signal and maybe a nice generator and so forth, to see what the actual performance of the antenna really is, not just from the physical point of view, but from electrical point of view. So that will be interesting to see what happens. We call it an antenna shootout. Right, Bert, yeah, if you can next week, put the circuit up on your power supply protection. That will be interesting to see. Nice board you have there, very, very nice. Frank, yeah, the light dimmer, I think in a way Mike's got an excellent idea, just do them in strips. But my question is, why do you want to dim them? It's a big piece of light, and then why do you want to get them so accurately dimmed? Because with a blink of an eye, you might not notice it. But anyway, it's a project, and it's entertaining you, and it's entertaining us for sure. And then, yeah, Mike, you've got so many cameras around there, and that works well. I tell you, that latest one you've got, that little pedestal thing, looks good. and it certainly does work well. I hope we can see your milling machine in action on the next over. Ed, yeah, hello to Maggie. Our one dog is Maggie as well. A Dachshund we have. We had two twins, but the one passed away almost 2 years ago, sadly. But Maggie's 12 years old, human 12 years, so she's getting to be an old lady now. And hello to Zuko, the new guy there. Yeah, let me tell you, when you want to do a live demo with children and animals, you got to be very lucky on the day. But you've been quite lucky. It worked. Right, Benno. Yeah, I've been looking at that very development from Fox 1 Echo Juliet Papa. Is that right? Saro has been keeping me informed, but there are still bugs. Of course, it's only a beta. But it's going to be interesting to see once it's completed. It is the ideal solution if one could get it there. But then again, it becomes so easy, one wonders why not just use a cell phone. Henry, okay, yeah, I found another long-winded way. I almost got it right, Henry, this morning on the clock. Almost. I'm almost there, so it's going to be interesting to see a bit later. I'm not going to do it today, because I've got Leslie here and he wants to go out into the garden. Right, with that, I'm going to pass it back. I don't know, Francesco, do you want to have another over? Italy Tango 9 Hotel Zulu Mike. If not, Leon, will you take it? But give them a nice gap to come on in case they still want to come on. Italy Tango 9 Hotel Zulu Mike. Failing which, ZS1 Mike from ZS6YI.
Okay, ZS6YI in the group, ZS1 Mike returning. Yes, Francesco said that they are rather tired. They've been at it for more than 2 days now. But yeah, what a beautiful show. I wish I could be there. Yes. Yeah, nice meeting all the other guys as well. Very, very nice. Okay, I'm not going to make it long, just comments. Yeah, I see they did have a roving camera in the end, Gary. We were discussing that, and yeah, towards the end they were moving around there with some sort of roving camera there at the Hamfest there, and it worked quite well. Okay, Bert, yes, you're making good progress with your PA control system and protection, and yeah, it's looking good. It's very, very sophisticated. It's nice having everything in one box, but I've mixed feelings about that. I prefer to have things separate. Takes up more space, but yeah, if one thing goes up in smoke, at least you still have the others. But yeah, very nicely done, Bert. Frank, yes, very, very, very interesting about your light dimming circuit. Of course, you have to have the pulse width modulation running at a very high speed. But I'm sure you realize that and you've overcome that. But you say that even on 8 bits the steps are still too coarse, and you can see it. Wow, that's a tough one. That asks for some fancy lookup tables and things, and yeah, as you've done there with feedback and things. Oh, I'd rather not try that. It looks complicated. I think I'll do it in analog. Okay, right. By the way, Frank, your picture and audio is perfect today. Eh? It's lovely. Very, very nice. And Mike, yes, you've got so many things going there, but I'm pretty sure one of your cameras was mirror image. I know it was upside down, but even so, I think it was mirror image, one of the labels on a bird thing or something. I could have mistaken, but anyway, yeah, you've got so many cameras now. Okay, but picture and sound good as always. Okay, Ed, I am red. And yes, Henry, that goes with you. I'm red because you were looking for me yesterday. You couldn't find me on the phone because I was 45 foot up on my late friend's tower. We're trying to take down. He passed away many years ago. Can it be 12 years or so? But he's just around the corner from me. But his wife now said, no, the tower must come down now, and can I help? So we got a few family members and things of theirs together, and yes, and he's got a winch on the thing and so on. It's a tilt over tower. It's not telescopic. It's just tilt over, and it tilts at the 6 meter mark, at the halfway mark. It tilts over. But it's not so easy. That thing is heavy. We've removed fortunately, the antennas itself, the TH5 and the 2 meter quaggies that were on top of the TH5, that all came down a couple of years ago. The bearing right at the rotator, there, something snapped there and the whole lot came down. Fortunately, minor damage to the TH5. The quaggies were destroyed, the 2 meter quaggies, but the TH5, just a few slightly bent elements and nothing serious. So we dismantled that nicely and put it away in the garage, because anything metallic you leave in the yard will not be there tomorrow. He had 2 counterweights at the bottom of the antenna. They're pieces of railway line, about 1 meter each. And the one was stolen off the tower. Years ago already. It was stolen off the tower. That's how bad it is here. If anything metallic is not welded, it will be stolen. So yeah, that's what happened. So we had to pack up the TH5 and everything. Fortunately, they couldn't steal the mast. I mean, we've been at it since 1:30 yesterday afternoon till 7 o'clock last night, until it turned dark, and we still haven't got it down safely. That's the main thing, to do it safely. You can just push the thing over and let it self-destruct, but I mean, gee whiz, it will be a waste. It's a lovely galvanized tower. Anyway, so that is why I'm red, Ed, for being in the sun so long. And that's why Henry couldn't find me on the cell phone. Okay, right. And the dogs, yeah, well, I'm not a great dog fan, but yeah, the animals are always cute. And the DATV-EASY, fantastic, Benno. That looks very, very nice. It's just a pity you didn't say anything about the Lime interface with it. You just select Lime and it works, or what firmware do you need in the Lime and things like that? I mean, I've got a Lime which is in my Portstown, but can I just plug that thing into the Lime there and it'll work? I need a bit more info on that. I don't want to use my other Pluto for that. I'd prefer to use the Lime, because the Lime has got much more output and it's USB 3, not USB 2. So I like the Limes. Right. And Henry, yes, as I've said, perfect picture. And your sound is, you don't have to worry anything about it, about the sound now. I think you've got it nailed now. Okay, from me it goes to Bert, PA3 AOD for the group. ZS1MM is signing. I'll be listening, but I don't think I'll be coming back. Yes, have a nice day, everybody, and especially a very nice day up there in Italy. From ZS1 Mike.
Yes. Okay, thanks, Leon. Satisfied, Mike, PH3FD. What to tell more? I'm also tired because got the sun the whole day on the back, and that makes you tired, the whole day sun. So I understand your red face, but yeah, I'm not a red face, maybe a redback. That's maybe not a good a good word for it, but anyway. Yeah, about dogs. Yeah, we have our dog also over here. It's mostly laying down. This is her preferred position, eh? Sleeping. It's some people call it a big dog, eh? It's a Saint Bernard, and some people think it's a big dog, eh? It's indeed not the smallest one, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's say everybody have a nice week. See you next week, and next week will show the schematic diagram and the PCBs from the production circuit. The PCBs are made. I designed it myself, and are made in China. JLC PCB. It's a manufacturer of the PCB boards. So yeah, the most components nowadays is easiest to get them from DTG, if they have them anyway. And that's very difficult. When you make a design and a week later you want to order the PCBs and check if the components are still in, they are not in. So it's terrible at the moment to get the PCBs populated with the components. Anyway, have a nice week. See you all next week. And the system goes into Frank. ZS6 Golf Echo, the group from Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta.
Yeah, all good from everybody. Yeah, Gary, why do I want such a funny dimmer? The normal ones you sort of buy, you turn a knob or a remote control and it goes up and down. I need 5 minutes and more for the simple reason that it's in my model railway room and I simulate day and night. So as it slowly gets darker, the lights come on and all that sort of fancy stuff. And that's where the problems start. Now I'll see how far I get with Mark II. I have no idea how to work with a microprocessor, so that is one of the problems. So I now try a mixed mode. I have here in my bin CMOS ICs, which I use, and a handful of diodes, and the digital to analog converter is coming next week. So I'll see how far I get with this lot. It is most likely not the most elegant method, but if it works, yeah, that's fine. And you're right, Leon, even the slightest pulse, sort of in the 1-2% of the duty cycle, already switches on the lathes noticeably, and that is where the problem comes in. 8 dogs, yeah, we have 3, of which only one is actually our own, a Labrador, and the other 2 we are foster parents for guide dogs. So we raise the puppies until they're about 18 months old and give them basic trainings. And then they go to the Guide Dog Association, and then the professionals take over. Okay, Henry, your audio now definitely better, and also no hiccups. Don't ask me why. It's smooth, it's nice. Yeah, maybe you can increase the treble a bit, so OBS can do that too. And no idea what happened there this morning. And then thanks very much. Have a nice Sunday, what's left of it, and I won't be coming back. Mike, yeah, I can't take up your idea because the LEDs are already up there, so I can't change them, so somehow I have to make a plan. Anyway, I just thought for interest's sake, somebody has an idea. You never know. If you don't ask, you don't get an answer.
Right. I think you were passing over to me, Frank, but I think you cut yourself off before the end, so apologies if you just had a power cut or something. Okay, just a few more comments then. Yeah, I thought that's what you were doing, Frank, trying to simulate day and night. Difficult, yeah, difficult. But I'm sure you'll come up with a solution, and you have to do it at a high frequency and probably need more bits of resolution, and perhaps some very, very small pulses. It's going to be a bit tricky right at the lower levels. Anyway, at the moment I'm using a different camera than I usually do, because the camera that I normally use to look at me is looking at this, which is the machine. Now I'm now going to put my headphones on, so I can't hear anything, but that's okay because I've got an idea what I'm saying anyway, because they mark out the noise. So what we'll do is we'll press this button here, prepare to be deafened. I'll turn down the microphone gain a bit, maybe you can still hear me. But there you go. It's doing some buttonholes at the moment. I won't let it complete that job because with holes it's easier to use a drill actually. So what the CNC is doing is marking out the positions, and it's got a really slow rate of speed, so I've just started cutting there, and you can probably hear that noise, just doing one hole. But this machine is not very good. It's not rigid enough for vertical plunge. It's called plunge, and it deflects. You might be able to see it deflecting actually when it starts cutting into the metal, and that means that it doesn't do a great job. So there you go. Anyway, quite a noise, as I'm sure you'll appreciate, and it will do that. And it will take quite a while, because I'm going very, very slowly, because this material is very hard, but it's doing the job. Anyway, there you go. So, that's what that was. Now, fortunately, well, what I'll do is I'll pass it on, rather than keep you deafened, and address any other questions via the next chat. Oh, Leon, yes, the camera was reversed. I've been messing around trying to set it up to be 180-degree rotated rather than reversed, but I haven't been successful, so I've not quite set it back right. Okay, thanks to everyone. G0 and G0. Thank you.
I don't know what's taking so long today to synchronize my decode, but I seems on there. Okay, very interesting machine, Mike. Very useful, very, very useful. So congratulations on that. And I didn't have much time to comment the past transmissions because of the visitors that I got here on the shack. But speaking of cameras, Gary, before you go, I remember a few weeks ago you showed that camera OBS boat, I think, yes, so that was OBS boat. What happened with that camera? Are you still using that, or you didn't like it? What happened? Just let me know, please, because I'm kind of interested to get another camera to replace my old camera, which is this one. Doesn't have a very good resolution, and I think it's already too old, and the image shows a little blur. So the guys in Italy, I think they are already wrapping up there. Appreciate their participation here on the net. Very interesting. I watched their transmissions there, and a few minutes before the worldwide net, they showed their antennas outside the pavilion. Was very interesting to see that. So thank you very much. Leon, the spiders, very interesting. Very interesting video. I just hope that what you show there is not your salad. And QSL, about your red face. Yep, the sun. Oh man, if I was like you, I was suffering. I don't deal very well with the sun, so I use lots of sunscreen protectors just to avoid that, because otherwise I will suffer. But yeah, hope everything goes okay there with your friend and the station. And regarding the metallic robbery stuff like that, yeah, we have the same here. Believe or not, they just steal the wires in the post. So maybe sometime you wake up, there is no energy, no internet, and the reason for that, someone just took the wires from the post. It's very sad. Bert, very nice work, Bert. And I'm wondering, I'm also trying to make some amplifiers here. Just wondering if you have any circuit, protective circuit against overdrive. Those LDMOS amplifiers. I mean, usually you can drive them with I think up to 5 watts usually, something between 2 and 5 watts. Just wondering, instead of using attenuators, if we could do a more intelligent overdrive circuit. I know that it exists, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know if you have any suggestion. It will be welcome, Bert. Frank, I understand you're chasing for the light adjustment, because you know, the railroads that you make is so realistic that yeah, it's worth the effort. I hope you can get the right light control. And Mike QSL just mentioned about this nice machine, also the previous transmission regarding your cameras. Very nice. And Benno, thanks for the introduction to EASY DATV. Just wondering, I see that it's DVB-T possible, but the Pluto, if you run the well, actually, I'm sorry, I don't remember if it only works with Lime SDR. I don't like them. I really had bad luck with the Lime SDRs. I don't intend to use any more Lime SDRs here. But I don't know if it works with the Pluto, and in the case of the Pluto, it must be running F5 OEO, but I don't think F5 OEO is able to do DVB-T. Well, I don't think so. And Henry, nice transmission, great video, great audio. The only thing, but this is my case because I'm too far from the satellite. I have only 7 degrees elevation from here, and your signal is a little bit low to me, so I got some gaps on your transmission. You're getting here only D0, and for a very brief instance I got some gaps on your transmission. I'm not sure if you have conditions to increase the power or something, but that's my particular case here, because the signals from DATV, you know, I have lots of atmosphere to cross, and sometimes like today, which is a cloudy day, I got a signal a little bit more attenuated than usual. Yep, that's it from my side. So thank you very much for all, and have a nice upcoming week. Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-Ray, Benno, sending to you. Thank you very much. Bye bye from Papa Yankee 2 Romeo November.
Okay, great stuff, everyone. Great transmissions. Not much Murphy's going on, touching wood at the moment, but let's see if I can continue this wonderful transmission today on this satellite. Finally, I managed to write some stuff on paper because I tend on forgetting the things to comment on. First of all, Bert, your frequency is a little bit off, and that is about 25 kc up, and that means that basically my winter hill is not locking you. My rider is locking you perfectly, but my winter hill is not locking you, and I need to move the frequency every time you're coming on up. Besides that, perfect transmission, no problems, and great stuff with your amplifier. And I'm really looking forward in making direct terrestrial contact between your place and mine. There's a small hill in between us, but we should manage, and we should find some time to test some terrestrial transmission. Frank, I thought about your LED issue, and I think you need also a complete feedback with an LDR or something, sensing the light transmitting from the LEDs, because you know, as you may know, that when a LED is on, it heats up quite extensively, and especially those power LEDs. And heated up, you get a complete different result. So in the end, if you're turning it on, it heats up a little bit, and it automatically turns on itself stronger. So you need some LED LDR feedback, I believe, to get it perfect. On the other hand, how much do you want to spend to create this perfect issue? I also think you need some kind of lookup table on a CPU-driven, processor-driven part. So in the end, you can fine-tune and say, at this time I need this amount, and that only can be done obviously through a decent lookup table, because otherwise if you try it analog with the analog way, you might end up getting different results. On the other hand, the sun is never the same going up. Well, it's going up the same, but it's not the same height at the horizon. So whatever, how perfect do you want it? I wonder, your RX, you told us you're not happy with your receiving capabilities. I'm not sure what your current reception is of for instance, the beacon, which is most stable. But I believe above anything over 2 meters, there's no matter of increasing, because increasing signal reception because of the noise level of the satellite. So anything over, I would say you should be going to about 10 dB, 10, 12 dB, something in between there for reception, and I'm not sure where you are aiming at. On the other hand, I have a local station here which has a 2 meters size dish, which is really big for the Netherlands. We are a very small country, so we tend to live close to each other, and therefore we don't have the room to put up dishes of higher than 2 meters. But on the other hand, he has a 2 meter dish in his garden, and he got from myself a miss. I created several lenses for dishes and several options. And one of my my lens was had a wrong angle, and I turned up I changed it quite extensively, and then one of those ended up in his dish, and he's very happy with it. He said it improved between 2 and 3 dBs with that lens, and that was also a prime focus. I understand, Mike, prime focus. Normally with FD of 3 you don't need a lens, but he somehow he was fiddling around and always got about -2 or 3 dB in respect of a original LNB with a POTI combined, and then in the end he got this misformed lens of mine, and we put it in, and it actually did quite a bit. I'm not sure how much, but he's very happy with it. He said it's now doing almost the same as an original LNB, and that's basically the optimum you can put in your dish. Okay, Ed, I see your dog's looking fine, looking great, and I now know people are normally looking like their dogs, and you're proving that part. But I really wonder why how you managed to get them bilingual. I mean, you're giving them commands in Spanish and in English, and somehow she understood both and paid attention to you doing the right thing. I also saw some test transmission from your mobile setup from Papa Yankee 2 Radio Oscar November. I tried to get in contact at that time, but you were too occupied, and I've seen the transmissions, which are lovely. And for DATV-EASY, yes, directly DVB-T, and no F5 OEO. You cannot use the Pluto with F5 OEO firmware. You need to bring it back to the original analog devices firmware, and I even found out if you bring it back to 031, you get about 3 dB more than in respect of 032 or 033 or even 034. But then again, the 034 doesn't work on a B, and the 031 I'm not sure if it works on a version D. So that's something to figure out. But you need to go back to analog devices, and then you can use DVB-T directly out of DATV-EASY, which works. Previous, I only managed to use DVB-T out of the ports down in conjunction with the Pluto with F5 OEO. So only Pluto was, ports down was managing a correct DVB-T system. So that's one plus for the DATV-EASY. And for Leon, you would be happy. I tried to mention it before, but actually the DATV-EASY was meant for the Lime, and it is designed for the Lime, so it works on the Lime. I don't have a Lime, but apparently it's tested with the Lime, and not so much with the Pluto so far, besides my testings. So apparently the Lime is working in conjunction with DATV-EASY without any assistance of the ports down or whatever reason. So, and that's the reason DATV-EASY was created original. So I think you will be happy there, and I would say you should test it one day and figure out if that is what you need, Leon. Okay, well, that's everything I've written down on my paper. Microphone on to, I believe, Henry, ZS6 Mike Charlie, sorry, from Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray.
Okay, there we go. Thank you very, very much, Benno. Much appreciated. I've also, for Ed, I've pushed up the power a wee bit. You can see it's about 1.5 dB that's in. So I don't like doing that because I don't think my dish is optimized at the present moment. But in any case, I hope that you can see me a little bit better now, Ed. And really, guys, thank you very much for a wonderful, wonderful net today. And once again, I've learned a lot. I think every time I come onto this mode, I learn more and more. And the worst part of it all is I'm doing nothing to get back onto SSB on narrowband. So that's where I am. I think this is where I am now, and this is where I'll stay. So thank you, everybody, for a very interesting net from my side. I know we're already about an hour and a half into it, so I'm going to cut it short from my side. I'm going to pass it to Gary, and hope to see you next weekend again. Should be very nice and very interesting. So Gary, I'm passing it back to you, ZS6YI and the net, and this is ZS6MC. Wishing you 73 and all the best for the upcoming week. Bye-bye now.
Okay, I'm going to close the net. And thanks to everybody on that came on today. It's been interesting. Quick thing, Mike. You've got a little bit of shatter on your plate, and that can break your tips. You must clamp it in the middle somehow. Make a longer clamp and clamp it in the middle. Just make sure you don't crash it, if you know what I mean. So you might have to just write your program that way. Alternatively, you can stick some double-sided tape under your aluminium onto the bed, and that'll help a lot. I could hear that bit of chatter. It sort of sings, it sort of resonates, the plate itself. And that can easily break your tips. We've had lots of that happen in the past, so we make sure it's firmly pressed up against the bed. Right, and then, yeah, Ed, the camera, yeah, it works well. In fact, where is it now? You see, you ran away. I just want to quickly get a young guy in my shack here. Let me just see if I can get him on. Sorry about that. Wrong direction. Sorry, Ed. There he is. Let me just get this out, and I'll tap to unlock. I'll lock it. And there he is. So, that is Mr. Leslie saying hi, and thumbs up, and goodbye. So, with that, I'm going to close the net. Thanks to everyone for coming up. Much appreciated. We'll see you all next week. And hello to Saro, who's watching as well, to Donald, who's watching, to Fani, who's watching, and there was another ZS4 station that sent me a quick message. I don't know who was that now. I'm trying to think. That was Werner, ZS6SAR. He's also watching. There's 11 guys on at the moment. With that, I'll say 7-3. All the best. Have a lovely week. And this is ZS6YI, now closing the DATV net.
Thanks, Gary, for the camera tip. So I'm going to order one and see how it works there. Hi, Leslie. Nice to see you. Great image from Leslie here from Brazil. Greetings from Brazil. And for Benno, thanks for the tip, my friend. That it's very promising. For sure I will test EASY DATV. Very interesting, very interesting. Regarding the dogs, of course, what do you think? All my dogs here are bilingual. They understand Portuguese and English. And you should see Maggie barking in French. It's amazing. She barks in French better than I speak French. Okay, guys. Special hello to Nina also. Delta Lima 2 Golf Radio Charlie, and of course to Saru. Missing you, Saru. Come back soon. Bye-bye, everybody, from PY2 Radio November.
Okay, Ed, all the very best to you. And Leslie says hi again. Okay, Ed. And very good. Right, gents, this is ZS6YI pulling the big switch. Leslie wants to go and get himself cooled down with cold water. So that we'll be doing in a minute. 73 ZS6YI, now QR Tokyo.
This is going to take a while. Pretty wet nose actually. The machine though is not very liquid. It crackles a bit on the vertical axis. But I think you might be right about the plate. I tried to bolt it down as best I could, but it might improve. But I don't want to leave it now, that's on top and something. But I'll never get it back in the same place.